In this video, I'm going to walk you through painting this portrait. Hi, welcome to Paint Coach. I'm Chris Fornatero, here to help simplify oil painting so you can get better faster. All right, this is one of those videos where I show you a time-lapse, sped-up version of me painting a portrait and I narrate over it, so let's just get to it. All right, so I got a piece of Arches oil paper here, just toned with some cerulean blue and burnt umber. Give a nice neutral background to kind of work my colors on, so it helps me indicate my values. All right, the first thing I'm doing here is just laying in the darks. I'm just thinking big shapes right now. You do not want to get too detailed too fast. I'm seeing the face pretty much just in two shades or two values, two colors right now. The dark and the light. That's all I'm really paying attention to now. And I try my best to get the color as close as I can, like with the light color that I'm using here, but I know that color is going to change. It's just kind of acting as a base color to layer your other colors on. So don't think that you need to nail this color that I'm laying on right now, or the dark that I laid on right before it, perfectly. You'll see I'm going to manipulate those colors as I go. Also, well, I'm using a smaller brush now, but I did use a bigger brush before, and I do recommend that just to force yourself to only see the big shapes. It's very easy to get tempted and jump right into details and getting into these little, small shapes and everything, but you really want to hold off and just really get the structure and the big shapes first, because if you don't nail that, the rest of the painting is just going to fall apart. And you see now I'm starting to identify different colors and different planes of the face here. And I do recommend looking up, if you use like Google search, planes of the face, drawing models. There's actual, it's actually like statue-like models that people, buy to study the planes of the face. But I'll put a link in the description to show you what I'm talking about. But just understanding the basic planes of the face, it helps a lot with me in terms of indicating my brush strokes and kind of just understanding the basic overall shape of the head. But yeah, look for a link in the description on that. See, now I'm going back into my shadow color here and just redefining it a little bit more, a little more clearly. And you see with my brush work, I'm always going in a certain direction. My brush strokes are never really that arbitrary. And especially in these beginning stages, I'm thinking of only painting in like my brush strokes in like straight lines. I'm not doing much curving. You don't see me like curving the brush. Keeping everything straight, that's just to kind of keep things accurate. Everything will get rounded out in time as you keep working your painting, but these straight lines kind of allow you to accurately draw in and structure the face appropriately. So I'm jumping in with some highlights here, and I do work dark to light, but I do bounce around. You'll see I just put in some highlights there, and I always think of this as, I think of painting as kind of putting together a puzzle in a way, and sometimes you need certain pieces to figure out the rest, other parts of the puzzle. So sometimes I will put in highlights, kind of knowing that they're probably not right, and I probably will change them later on, but I need them there as a placeholder to make some other decisions on the painting. So now I'm going in with some dark accents and kind of redefine, getting where the eyes are going to be, and certain dark accents in the mouth and the nose and everything. And that's pretty much to give me, more information so I can go back to the rest of the painting here. And so much of painting portraits is value. There's just, the value shifts in the face are so subtle, and it's so easy to overdo them. And value is just the light and the dark. You can see being able to work in the right value, but changing up your color and having a variety of color in the face. I feel like it just adds so much more to it. It makes the face a lot more dynamic and interesting to look at. Sometimes you see portraits and the face is all pretty much one color of just different shades of that color. But you gotta look, there are distinctions in color. You know, the cheeks will be a little more red, the noses will be a little more red. You know, if there's facial hair like stubble, even on this, you know, he does have, you know, stubble. It's not, you can't see it, but it's gonna show up like a little more, like I had like a little cerulean blue and yellow ochre. And if you look at photos, there is a difference in the color of the skin where there is facial hair. And just all these little subtleties add up and they just add to a more interesting painting. See, now I'm going in and really getting the details using a really small brush. I believe it's a 0 flat. And it's just constantly adjusting. It's almost like hear a lot of novelists say that writing a novel is just, you know, rewriting. Writing is just rewriting. I feel like that's what painting is. Painting is just continually altering and putting something down, seeing how it looks with what you got, and then changing it. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just constantly looking at the painting as a whole. I really stress, don't finish just one area of a painting. I know there's a lot of videos, all these fun time-lapse videos to watch on YouTube of people doing these paintings and drawings, and they'll just start at the eyes and just finish the eyes and work their way to the nose and work their way to the mouth and just finish the whole thing. And I just don't recommend doing that, especially for painting, because you got to know how everything is working together. And if you know, doing like that right eye that's in the shadow and you just finish it, you're probably gonna make it too dark or too light because you have no idea its relationship to the rest of the face, and how you paint that rest of the face is going to indicate that shadowed portion of the eye. And if you look at my palette to the right here, you can see I do keep it somewhat organized in terms of dark to light, which helps me choose the right value when I switch color. Now there is a difference between value and color. Value is just how light or dark a color is. So you can have, you know, the color blue and the color orange, two different colors, one's warm, one's cool, but you could have them in the same value, which is very important. I don't have all my colors separate. You see, like all my colors kind of blend together on my palette, and I find that really helpful. I feel like that adds harmony to all your colors. You know, you have some of every color and, you know, the color you mix. So if I'm mixing up a shadow color and I want to move to a little more of a mid-tone or a little bit lighter, I will start with that shadow color and add what I need to add to it to get a lighter color. And I'm painting the eye. I was having a little trouble with this eye on the left here, and whenever you're having drawing issues, a lot of time, try and think of drawing the space around it, not the actual thing you're trying to draw. Like with that eye, just having trouble just getting it right, the right size and the right distance away from the eyebrow. And a lot of times I found when you're having drawing issues later on the painting like that, it's a lot easier to just think of what's around it, and I kind of reshaped that eye by painting the like the eyelids and what was around it to reshape the eye. Big thing is I always step back from my painting a lot while I'm painting it, and I squint just to see what's working. And when you squint down, it really simplifies everything. And there you go. All right, hope you found that helpful. If you did, please hit the like button to subscribe to the channel. You can also Follow me on Instagram at Forza43 and see what I paint on a daily basis. If you have other questions about oil painting, topics that you want to see videos made on, please let me know. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make things easier for you, to answer your questions that nobody else on YouTube is asking about oil painting. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm Chris Fornatero here telling you to go get painting.